So normally I got this question a lot. So sometimes people come to me and they ask me, please, could you pray for me to find my soulmate? And then I ask them, what is soulmate? And they have many lists, he or she understand me, there for me, support me, and special meditator. So lists go on, many lists. So in a way, everybody talk about how to find my soulmate or Mr. Perfect, Mrs. Perfect. And normally, I advise them, there's no such thing as Mr. Perfect and Mrs. Perfect. And many of them not so happy, not so happy to hear. And also soulmate, you think a soulmate this time, this year, but then after a few years it change. So most of the time, people ask me to pray and I say, yes, I will pray for you, But I told them I don't have that special power, capacity, boom, you will get the Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect, not like that. And most of the time they said, you just pray. I will find. I said, okay. So then sometime after a few months later, they come back and they said, now I found it. I found my soulmate. Perfect. Then most of the time I'm a little bit worried about it, Really? I think that's very good. But I advise, don't expect too much. Mind, don't fix too much. So the more we develop expectation, what happens? We will see more problems and we will have more complaints. He or she, not like that. Not what I expected. You have this problem, that problem. You're not there for me. You're not support for me. Then I said, okay, very good. You found Mr. Perfect and Mrs. Perfect. That's wonderful. And sometimes they go back. And after 1 or 2 years later, they come back. And most of the time, they cry. First they cry. And then they said, last time that I told you that I found Mr. Perfect and Mrs. Perfect, but it turned out to be jerk. And I said, what happened? And there's a lot of long stories. The important point here is, though the title of this talk, how can you find Mr. Perfect, Mrs. Perfect? But what I'm saying is, there's no such thing as a Mr. Perfect and Mrs. Perfect. So then, what we have? And normally I talk about Mr. Okay, Mrs. Okay. That maybe can find. Why? Because though everybody has wonderful nature, everybody has the basic innate goodness, you all have capacity, you all have love and compassion, you all have wisdom, you all have capacity, potential, lot of good things there. But at the same time, we have what we call ignorance, confusion, ego clinging, craving, aversion, lot of clashes, lot of problems, lot of mistakes are there. So we need to look at the full picture. Though fundamental level we all are good, but we are lost. So now what we can do, we need to see both level, then there's no perfect, right? Mr. Perfect, Mrs. Perfect, not there. So maybe I would like to share with you a story that one time there's a couple came to me, husband and wife, and they both are really suffering because the wife always worry and she's like worry about everything, and husband always want to control, everything he want to control. And they both come to me and ask me, please, help, pray for us and please help us. So they are expecting maybe I give special power, blessing, boom, tomorrow, no argument. So I told them, I don't have that capacity or power. Sorry, I cannot help you like that way. And they both are a little bit sad and, please help. So then I told them, though I cannot help you like miracle way, but I can teach you something. And both of them said, whatever from you is okay. So then I told them about every day to make half hour time to discuss about the positive quality within each other, like positive talk. So with that half hour, only focus on the positive qualities and discuss within each other. And they say, yes, we will do that. And they're gone, and I haven't met them for a few weeks. After a few weeks later, both of them came and they said, half hour is too long. So they try to discuss something, and within 5 minutes, topics run out. And they look at the watch, still 25 more minutes. And they become quiet and look at each other. And they try to discuss something positive, first time when I met you and you're so kind, but, before you're kind, but not now, but they cannot talk about that. Then they keep quiet and silent. So then they asked me, what should we do? And I told them, okay, I can give you a discount. So what is the discount? No need to do half hour every day, but every day 5 minutes. And they said, oh yes, that's good. 5 minutes we can do that. So then they both gone. And I haven't met them for 1 year. And 1 year later, they both came and they said, thank you so much for your advice. Now, half hour is not enough for the discussion. So I was quite surprised. I was not expecting like that way. And I asked them how that helps. How become like that? So they said, they discuss about only 5 minutes every day about the positive things within each other. Then actually they discover there's a lot of good things within each other. And there's a lot of love also, kind also. But at the same time, they both are not perfect. And they both have a lot of mistakes, personality trait. The biggest thing they said, the personality, difficult to change. So then what they do is, they accept who they are. The husband accept wife accept husband. And still, wife worries about everything, and husband want to control everything. But of course, they still try to let go and try to learn from their mistakes, and they try to support each other and to transform each other. But still, they may make a lot of mistakes. So then what they do is, they bring awareness about each other's personality, and they discuss, they talk about. And also, they kind of like make it as like humor. They put sense of humor. So for example, the husband finish work and come home, knock the door, and he's saying the most powerful person in the world is coming. He's making humors about his controlship or pride. And the wife opened the door and she said, the most worriest person welcomes you. So, and they give each other special nickname. The husband's name is control freak and the wife's name is worry freak. But at the same time, they really love each other now. And they can discuss about anything. They become good friends. And they support each other to learn, to grow. But both are not perfect. And they accept that. So it's just okay. They both become Mr. Okay and Mrs. Okay. So normally, that is not only the Mr. Perfect and Mrs. Perfect, but everything in our life, if we expect too much, the strong craving and expectation comes, then we only see the more like negative aspect. But then we accept who they are. There's space for mistake, space for problems, but not just give up. Learn from mistake and grow from obstacles and problems. Relationship become more healthy, and whatever relationship become more last long. I think really important that bring this in your social circle, with the friends, with the boss, colleagues, staff, and with the society, that to accept who they are and support each other, learn from each other to grow, to transform. Thank you.